Video on Winterboard versus DreamBoard, going over to the best theming platforms and showing which one is better and what they both can accomplish, and the pros and cons of both, including Winterboard and DreamBoard. So in this video, I'll start off with Winterboard. Now once you open up Winterboard, there's a black screen when it's loading, which could be changed with a simple loading screen that would add to the effect that Winterboard has and would make it slightly better. And when you look at the UI of Winterboard, it does look very simple. There's nothing to it. It's just there. It's not. It doesn't have any nice graphic UI to it or anything of that nature. So when you go to select themes, you can see all the Winterboard themes that you have installed in the Winterboard compatible packages. And if you tap on the right where the package for Winterboard is, you can rearrange it, because some themes actually prioritize the order of what your packages in Winterboard are listed as. And that is what you can do to the themes. And to apply the themes, you simply tap on a theme without a check mark, and then you know it's there, and then you can just simply respring your device and then it will take into effect. But for this case, I will not respring my device. So let's start off with the pros for Winterboard. Now Winterboard was developed since the beginning of jailbreaking, and why that's good is because it's very stable. It's been around for a while, and more people use it just because of that one reason, that it's been around for a while, and that it's not in any beta stages, and that it's very simple to use. There's not much to it. It's nice, it's clean, it's just stable, for lack of a better term there. Now, Winterboard uses less memory than DreamBoard. Now, that is one of the main reasons some users use this instead of DreamBoard. Now, DreamBoard does take up a lot of memory, and if you're using the iPhone 3G to use DreamBoard, that might not be a good idea, because there isn't too many themes for it, simply because of the lack of its processing power, and that is a standard definition device. And why develop for an older device that won't be upgraded to iOS 5 when you have the iPhone 4 and iPod Touch 4G, and also the iPad 1 and 2, or the first and second generation, to use instead. Another reason why Winterboard is preferred is because there's little or no setup required when you're using it. Now, once you download a theme from Cydia or the Theme.it store, if you don't know what the Theme.it app store is it's basically a app that collects all the themes in one app, and you can download the themes of your choice, and it's very simple to do and easy at the same time. And instead of going to Cydia, which takes up a lot of memory on your device, you just go into Theme.it and you download themes with PayPal, and it is just very easy to use. And in my opinion, I would use Theme.it over getting themes from Cydia, simply because of the simplicity of the actual process. Now, when you're using Winterboard, you get more customization to the last detail, and that's why many more people like and prefer Winterboard, just because of that. You can tweak anything into any shape or form that you want, and it won't just all be the same. It's all different. You can have many widgets with the theme of your choice. You can have everything that you would want in a great, simple jailbreak app that is free to bat. Winterboard has been around for a long time, and therefore it is stable, and everybody's comfortable with using it and without any hesitation, since everything has been developed for it. It's a stable platform. It's not in beta. Everything is set up for Winterboard, basically. Now, DreamBoard is, in many people's opinions, it's an add-on to Winterboard. Now, right now, it's an alternative. It's not a complete, full-on replacement, but if you give DreamBoard some time to develop and make more themes for it, it'll be just as good as Winterboard, if not better, and many more people will be using DreamBoard over Winterboard, because DreamBoard is in its developing stages, and many more people want to use something new, something better, something more revolutionary, and they just want their device to be better when they jailbreak it. That's why many people will be using DreamBoard than Winterboard when DreamBoard is fully developed, however long it takes. But DreamBoard is moving along quite nicely, Now with Winterboard, you can create custom slideshows, custom pics to the weather widgets that you have with Winterboard, and move things more freely. Rename and change icons freely, change the weather location for a actual widget, and the other main feature that's definitely an advantage when you're using Winterboard is basically that you can combine many themes on top of each other. So basically you can combine one theme with another theme, and then that will create a new theme. So say you like the actual UI of a theme, but you just don't like the icon sets. Well, you can actually, so let's say for example you like the UI of the theme, you like the tap to unlock, you like everything about it, but you just dislike the colors of the theme, the UI, or anything of that nature. You can change the icon sets into something that you want, and that's one killer feature that you do have with Winterboard other than DreamBoard. It's much more developed, it's stable, it's everything. Winterboard is what everybody is using right now instead of DreamBoard, even though some people are using DreamBoard, but it's like comparing apples to oranges in a way, because Winterboard has been developed, everything is there for it, but then let's say there's something new and people are beginning to shift to another, but in a way when you use the apples to oranges analogy, they both accomplish the same thing in a different way. So moving on to the Winterboard cons. With anything comes the advantages and also the disadvantages, or where the app basically plummets. Now there has been no UI overhaul since the beginning of Winterboard. Now that is one major mistake that the developer of Winterboard has made. They didn't upgrade Winterboard for iOS 5 currently. It's all the same. It's the same for 2 to 3 years, or whenever jailbreaking has started, maybe even 4 years, since jailbreaking started in 2007, and so did Winterboard, since it was one of the beginning jailbreak tweaks. So that's one major downfall that you would think of when you are using Winterboard. Now, with Winterboard, everything is set up easily, but when you have a theme that does take a long time, it does take a long time. Now, you spend more time fiddling around with eye blanks, grid locks, spring jumps, customizing the ultimate app that you want, and that is very time consuming. It can take up to hours on hours and hours on end. So that is one major downfall when you're using Winterboard, and it is manual work for the theme. Instead of DreamBoard, it's all automatic. It's all set up within a few seconds. You don't have to do anything with it. It's all set up, and that is one major con that comes with it when you're using Winterboard. Now here is a prime example of Winterboard. You do have great icon sets with everything that you want in a theme. When you look at the bottom, you do have a nice rotating weather widget, but there is no lag whatsoever. But this is just using iPhone simulator that has a slight lag over Wi-Fi. But overall, if you use this on your device, you will not experience any lag. Now looking at the wallpaper of this theme, you do see it does look 3D-like. It's a great theme overall. The phone keypad is customized. You have loading screens, as you can see right there, just open up quickly. But you have the phone keypad. When you tap on a number, there's nothing behind it, and it just does look very simple. It's very subtle. It looks like if Apple ever implemented a theme, or a theme sort of store like Winterboard, and a theme like this, which by the way is called Hollow HD, and it is one of the best themes. If Apple ever implemented something like this, this is how elegant it would look, and how great it would be. This would just be the standard theme instead of the custom wallpaper in the background. That's all basically. There's no icon sets, the same icon sets since the first iPhone in 2007, and that's all. It's just very elegant. It looks like you aren't even using a theme if Apple was to make one. Looking at the icon sets, the maps icon, the weather icon, the notes icon, everything is customized, everything is themed. Everything that you want in a theme is customized, and that is all I can say about this theme. The iPod icon, I can point to every single icon, and you can see that it is themed, and that everything with it is just complete. It's using Winterboard, not DreamBoard, just to point that out. Now let's look at the pricing. Now the pricing of this theme is $3. When I just said the price right there, you might be thinking $3. That's a lot for a simple Winterboard theme. I'm just gonna get this theme for free using Cydia sources and something along those lines. But now when you think of it, developers custom make these themes. They don't just find the icon somewhere. They custom make themes. They make the icon sets in Photoshop, one icon next to another icon. They make it one individual icon, then they move on to the next icon. So you're doing you're making the SMS icon, then you move on to the calendar icon. Now these icons are just amazing. You make these icons through Photoshop. Now one icon can take an hour, a few hours, 3 hours, more, but it depends how much you want to perfect it. Now these icons aren't really easy to do. It takes a vision, it takes design, it takes everything. And these icons are just one icon, and then they just make them through Photoshop and something along those lines. But with a theme, you get a nice, fancy, rotating weather widget going in a 3D cube, basically. You get the time, the weather widget. Each icons are handmade. I can't stress that enough. Each icons are handmade. They customize the whole themes. For $3, you get a custom battery, custom icons, App Store icons customized. Some icons that are developed have, some themes that have icons have 3 different icon sets for all of the icons. Now, there's many icon sets that are developed. There's loading screens for each individual app. The App Store apps are customized. Everything is customized, and that's one main reason that people use Winterboard, because it's just stable. It's just perfect. And when you're using Winterboard, you just download Winterboard from Cydia, and you just download Winterboard from Cydia, and then you have to get themes for your device. Now, if you're using the iPhone 4 or iPod Touch 4G, what you do is just download Retina Display HD themes, since the screen is actually pretty HD. And that's all you have to do in order to get this working. And if you're using any device running iOS 4 and above, what you have to do is download a theme in standard definition, not HD, and that's all you have to do. Now, also, if you're using the iPad first generation or the iPad 2, you just download an iPad theme from Cydia as well. Now, Winterboard does have many themes to boot. They have at least hundreds of thousands of themes, all developed for Winterboard, and also tweaks that are made for Winterboard. For example, I have a 60D shutter sound that you enable through Winterboard to change the camera sound instead of it being generic. Now, I have previous videos that show the top 10 best Winterboard themes for the iPhone 4 and the iPod Touch 4G, and also for the iPhone 3G or any SD devices. And I have the top 5 Winterboard themes for the all iOS 4 and above devices, including the iPhone 4, iPod Touch 4G, and the iPhone 3G, and so on. And I also do have a playlist of some of the best themes to get, and I will leave all in the description, and not excluding the top 10 best DreamBoard themes and the best DreamBoard themes playlist as well. So that will all be in the description. Everything that you need, or some recommendations that I have, or that I have made previous videos on, it will all be in the description as well. Moving on to DreamBoard, once you tap on the icon, you'll see that it says preparing theme switcher at the very bottom, and you have a very nice animation. You see that you have a nice transition from on your actual home screen into the DreamBoard app, and then you have the background wallpaper as well, and you get one free theme with DreamBoard, which is very nice once again. So once you open up DreamBoard, you see that it has that nice transition, and it's already loaded like so. Now this theme is very Android-like. It has the same HDC clock. It looks very nice overall, and you have some nice Android icons that just show the beauty of DreamBoard when you download it on your device. And you have the Mail, Safari settings, all the basic. And when you move over to the left, you have a slight panoramic wallpaper, which looks and adds to the look and feel of DreamBoard. And you have the Facebook widget, which you can have a Facebook widget without actually opening up the whole app. You just put your email and your password just like standard Facebook, and that's what you do. It's very simple, and it's just like so. If you tap on the menu system arrow right in the left, it brings up all the apps that you have installed on your device. It's very user-friendly. It's very simple. It doesn't have a static, stationary background that Winterboard has. It has everything. And if you tap on the plus button in the right of the menu system, you can have animated weather, and you also have an editing mode. And if you tap on web widget, you can change from Facebook to Twitter to Google. You can have Google as a widget. So I'll just leave Facebook on, and it's still there like so. Once the animated weather kicks in, it looks very nice. You can see that the sun is shining on the HTC clock. It's slowly transitioning, but it is working for animated weather. If it says mostly cloudy as the weather, clouds would be moving across the screen. And once again, you do see the animation for the weather right there. And if you look at the HTC clock, you see the time in, you see the regular time, and you also do have the weather and the state of the weather, along with the day of the week, the actual month, and the actual date. And you have the current temperature, which you can change from Celsius to Fahrenheit, whichever system you work with. And you can change the high and low as well. And if you move over to the right, you have more icons, and you can see it just moves over very simplistically, and all the icons are customized like so. And if you exit, moving on to the pros of DreamBoard, DreamBoard eliminates all setup issues. You don't have to spend hours on end just setting up a theme like you would in Winterboard, and it's much easier and preferred due to less time to set up when you're using DreamBoard. And I recommend using DreamBoard when you have the space and the room, and they are porting a lot of themes, which is a nice thing about DreamBoard, and you don't have to take up the time. Once again, I can't stress that enough. And DreamBoard also does have its perks though, and in about 2 years, the themes will be amazing for DreamBoard, even more amazing than the Mac OS X Lion Ultimatum theme that I have reviewed and will be in the description of the top 10 best DreamBoard themes. And hopefully there will be more customization like Winterboard, or maybe using per page HTML for widgets, and possibly an icon loader like Icon Harvester, and change the icons. But that's just an opinion when you're using DreamBoard. But DreamBoard is specifically optimized for the iPhone 4 and the iPod Touch 4G due to its retina display and its A4 processing power, and the 512 megabytes of RAM in the actual iPhone 4, and 256 in the iPod Touch 4G. Now, with anything, there also is the cons. Now, DreamBoard is much more memory intensive and should only be used on the iPhone 4 and the iPod Touch 4G, only because of its processing power. Now, it is very memory intensive, and that's what I can't point out. And that's what I can't point out enough. It is very memory intensive, and with a lot of memory, it does take up lots of battery, but it won't be a considerable amount of battery if you just use it for an hour or so. But if you use it on a daily basis, you will see a battery change from your default battery that you have. Out of DreamBoard, it will just say preparing theme switcher again, and you can't use the home button. I must point out, you can't use the home button when you're inside the actual theme, which is called Android. And if you tap on the home button when you're outside of the when you're outside of a DreamBoard theme, it won't exit out of the home screen, because once again that wouldn't work very well when you're using DreamBoard. And if you tap on default, it'll go back into your default. Looks very iOS 5 like, and then it just transitions over to your actual home screen, and it does look very nice once again. Now, moving on to both Winterboard and DreamBoard. Now, hopefully you can switch from DreamBoard to Winterboard and vice versa without having to download the other again. Both are excellent platforms. And arguably, I believe that DreamBoard is much more beautiful, but it does lack the functionality and memory management that WinterBoard manages to keep. And that just comes with time, because WinterBoard has been out for a considerable amount of time, and much more than DreamBoard, which has been out for several months. And DreamBoard just uses way too much RAM as it is, and in a future update it will help this, but it probably won't ever be fixed, because DreamBoard just as it is, it just does use a lot of memory. Now, in order to get both DreamBoard and WinterBoard, all you have to do is open up Cydia and search for either. They're in the community sources, so you don't have to add a source or anything of that nature. It's already there. It's stock on your device. Once you jailbreak, you just search WinterBoard or DreamBoard. That's all you have to do, or even both if you think they're both. But in my opinion, right now, DreamBoard goes hand in hand with WinterBoard, but with more time for DreamBoard to develop, more people will be using DreamBoard than WinterBoard, and DreamBoard will become the WinterBoard, but without the disadvantages that WinterBoard has. So thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe. Please like this video. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/applecritics, and at reply me for any jailbreak questions, and leave a reaction on this video, whether it was incredible, and leave a comment down below on what you think about WinterBoard or DreamBoard, or both for that matter. Feel free to say which one is better and why, and that's all you have to do. So thank you for watching this video once again, and please subscribe for much more, and thanks for watching.